Now please rise and welcome to the pitch, Louisville City FC and FC Cincinnati.
For the past 2 years, Cincinnati and Louisville have established a heated rivalry, clashing 8 times and creating memorable moments along the way. Tonight, the derby brings number 1 and number 2 in the East together in the Queen City. This Memorial Day weekend, and a crowd in excess of 25,000 is expected tonight. Good evening and welcome to Nippert Stadium on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. Tom Glitter, thrilled to be alongside my broadcast partner and All-American Kevin McCloskey as we get you set for a derby matchup. 8 previous meetings between FC Cincinnati and Louisville City FC. The all-time series is even. There have been some big-time battles, but now that Cincinnati is in first and Louisville is in second, is this the biggest?
This is the most significant game, Tommy, by far. Obviously 1 and 2. I think both teams are coming off a good win streak. 2 good wins for both teams in midweek, playing in the Open Cup as well. Tonight, Nippert's going to be packed, excited, and we're ready for this game.
You see the Eastern Conference table there with FC Cincinnati atop with 20 points. Blake Smith is out tonight, an ankle injury suffered Wednesday night in the Open Cup match. That means Matt Boehner steps in at left fullback, and as we take a look at your key matchup, you see it being a clash of 2 Cincinnatians.
Definitely. Battle of Cincinnati, Tommy. Matt Boehner's going to be playing on the left-hand side. Kyle Smith's going to be playing on the right-hand side as fullbacks. So they're definitely going to come up against each other a lot tonight. And hopefully, obviously, Matt gets the edge and be the difference in the game.
As I mentioned, the all-time series even between the Orange and Blue and Lou City, the defending USL champions. Tonight will be the 9th meeting between these 2 clubs, separated by just about 100 miles. We'll have the starters and a check-in from the pitch when we return. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. A buzz in the air here at Nippert Stadium tonight as FC Cincinnati and Louisville City, heated rivals, take the pitch and set for their 9th all-time meeting. Tom Gletter alongside Kevin McCloskey, a crowd in excess of 25,000 expected for a big battle tonight, and it's time to take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. First for Alan Koch and FC Cincinnati, Paddy Barrett in there at center back. Forrest Lasso available tonight. He is healthy. This is the first time he's been available for a USL match and not started. On the other side for Louisville City in 4th year head coach James O'Connor. He doesn't have quite as much rotation as Alan Koch, and James O'Connor tonight, his starting lineup will feature 5 players that played 90 minutes on Wednesday night in a 1-0 victory in the Open Cup against St. Louis, and features the return of Pat McMahon, former FC Cincinnati lad, making his first start since the last time Lou City played here in the Queen City. The third member of our broadcast team is Lindsey Patterson. Let's head down to the pitch and check in for the first time tonight.
Yeah, guys, a lot on the line here at Nippert Stadium for FC Cincinnati. A little bit of a revenge game since they fell to Lou City earlier in the season on April 7th, but they've been on a roll since. And when it comes to the lineup, I know, Tommy, you mentioned it, Matt Boehner in with Blake Smith day-to-day. Also, Paddy Barrett, who's given opportunities this season that he has created for himself. Alan Koch told me he has a lot of confidence in his whole group, whoever he puts out there.
Thank you, Lindsay. And Bart is rested after staying home Wednesday and not playing in the win at Pittsburgh. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by Levy Law, where they turn your crash into cash. And for FC Cincinnati, that list shortening. Blake Smith out with an ankle injury, and Tyler Gibson still rehabbing his ankle injury and hoping to work his way back in a few weeks. Tonight's match official is brought to you by Kingsgate Transportation and Remy Touchon, the man in the middle tonight. You see him wearing the green official's top. And Alan Koch looking out onto the pitch in his 2nd year as the manager for FC Cincinnati. His club showing great form as of late and hoping it continues tonight against a rival.
Yeah, fans are certainly ready for this game. You can hear the buzz and excitement around the stadium tonight. I know the players are ready for this as well. You talked about it earlier, Tommy. Last time Louisville edged FC Cincinnati out, so I'm sure players are ready for revenge.
Kenny Walker just outside the 18, the University of Louisville product. Lou City closed in on him quickly defensively, and the orange and blue will try and show some patience in the attacking third as Lou City disrupts their rhythm. The home side in their traditional primary kits, orange and blue striped tops with the blue shorts and the blue socks. Richie Ryan on to Kenny Walker, and Lou City with their white kit tops with the gold numbers on the back and the gold shorts and white socks. Here on the road, 2nd time they played in Cincinnati here in the first half of the season. These teams will meet later on in 2018 down at Slugger Field. Evan Newton putting his left foot into it and sending it out into the midfield. Fall to the left side to Jimenez. Justin Hoyt starting at the right fullback position, wins it back for FC Cincinnati, and then Lou City regains the possession in the midfield.
The big thing tonight, Tommy, is really controlling tempo. There's certainly going to be energy around this stadium for the FC Cincinnati players, feeding off the fans tonight. Just got to make sure that they stick to that game plan and don't let emotions carry over. Always a big challenge in these big derby rival games.
Speedy Williams and Kyle Smith knocking it around on the far side. Let's take a look at your keys to the match tonight, Kevin.
I think the biggest thing, really, players have to be focused. There's been a lot of excitement.
Koenig with some focus, winning it up the middle and then trying to knock it out wide to the left to Manu Ledesma. Those two have shown a great connection the past month. Didn't quite get there. Louisville had to close in quickly defensively as you go back to your keys.
Well, I talk about it's been a very exciting week, right? Obviously a big announcement coming on Tuesday, a big win on Wednesday as well. So for the players, I think the key is really keeping that focus, not getting too carried away. The task at hand is to get 3 points tonight against Louisville City. The second thing, I think, and we saw this the last time these two teams faced up, is this tactical battle between James O'Connor and Alan Koch. I think the biggest thing is executing that tactical plan and that strategy tonight.
Richie Ryan and Paddy Barrett, two Irishmen trying to get FC Cincinnati out of some defensive trouble. They do so, and then the clearance goes out along the far touchline, and certainly focus key. The last time these two played, it was the home opener for the Orange and Blue, and it was the early goal from Cameron Lancaster. Came in the 13th minute, and that night Louisville City executed their game plan very well. They got the early goal and they packed it in. We're content to have it at 1-0, and FC Cincinnati didn't see a great opportunity to get an equalizer.
I think tonight, Tommy, I think you're going to see a very similar strategy from Louisville as well. You know, Lancaster, like you talked about, was the difference. Leading goal scorer right now for Louisville City. A team on the road, they're going to try to counter-attack. And if they get a goal, you'll definitely see them bunker in.
Hoyt will come up the right side on the touch from Walker. Justin had some great opportunities to score last Saturday when FC Cincinnati was home in the win against North Carolina FC 4-1. Long ball searching for Danny Koenig is cleared away far touchline. It'll be a throw in inside of the attacking third for the Orange and Blue. I mentioned it before, 5 starters for James O'Connor tonight, played 90 minutes in the cup win. Only 1 on the other side for FC Cincinnati had such duties. That was Matt Boehner, who did not play last Saturday, so it's his second start of the week. And I would say that FC Cincinnati certainly should have the edge as far as the squad rotation is concerned.
You would imagine that's definitely an advantage. You know, fresh legs coming in, a deeper roster too. You know, so obviously the players that are on the bench as well have been rested. Forrest Lasso comes to mind, and that's a massive player to have on your bench and kind of up your sleeve as well.
And for FC Cincinnati as well, a very different formation than the last time they played here. It was the 4-2-3-1 when they lost 1-0 back on April 7th. Kenny Walker wasn't available. That was when he was still recovering from his concussion suffered at Indy. So Louisville City very much facing a different look Orange and Blue squad.
Definitely, and we talked about even in that game, if you remember, Tommy, the chemistry and trying to develop it. 6 weeks on, this is a very different FC Cincinnati team. Quality players are really starting to click in true form. Guy like Ledesma, Danny Cooney, Corbin Bone, really starting to find a rhythm.
Devin Williams knocks it back and onto the foot of Tosh. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by U.S. Bank. Desma fighting for it, got just enough to knock it to Bone. Nazmi over to the left, back to Corbin. Corbin just outside the 18, leaves it for Nazmi. And Albadawi couldn't do anything with it, played it just a hair behind his feet.
Just play behind him. I think Corbin Bone initially made a really good decision, though, of not trying to play in Ledesma. Took his time, allowed Nazmi to get around him and provide that support. Just a little unlucky with that pass.
Rasmussen playing it forward. Kenny Walker will turn it away. Drops it back. Del Piccolo rips a shot, punched away by Evan Newton. Back to Del Piccolo. Then a bouncing shot will come in to the hands of Evan Newton, who managed it well there. Cameron Lancaster took the shot on the rebound. Looks like he might be slow to his feet. It is Lancaster, and it appears to be his right ankle.
This ball played in here. This is the second opportunity that just bounces, but the shot before that, Evan Newton did really well just to watch it. It's hit with a good amount of pace, started to move as well. From that shot, obviously Lancaster just picks up a little bit of a knock. But we talk about, again, Louisville trying to get an early goal and try to sit in. I think a big thing for FC Cincinnati is try to get on the scoreboard first tonight, Tommy, so that doesn't happen. You know, they want to try to get an early goal. They want to try to force Louisville to try to play and stretch them open. I think if that can happen, like we've talked about, the quality will shine in those half spaces, especially in the attacking third tonight.
See, Lancaster took the knock on the inside of his ankle. This gives James O'Connor an opportunity to chat with a few of his players, and Cameron is up and appears to be okay. The native of London, England, 6 foot forward, leads the squad with 5 goals this season. He did come in on Wednesday night and play 11 minutes in the win against St. Louis. For Louisville City, they advance in the Open Cup and will take on New England Revolution on June 5th. It'll be the first time they've ever hosted an MLS side. Conversely, FC Cincinnati will host an MLS club for the 4th time the next day on June 6th, when Minnesota United FC will be here for the Open Cup matchup, and the Orange and Blue will try to keep some of that cup magic going here in Nippert.
I think in that game too, Tommy, I'm sure we'll have flashbacks of last year.
Probably a few.
Times to reminisce a little bit, but
tickets for that match. If you're not a season ticket holder, you can reserve your season tickets right now. But to the public, tickets go on sale Wednesday at 1 o'clock for that match, which is June 6th at 7:30 here at Nippert Stadium. Ranjit Singh, starting goalkeeper for Louisville City, sends it out into the midfield. Richie Ryan will collect off the touch from Hoyt. Bone in the middle over to Boehner. Boehner has it come off his foot. There's your matchup, the battle of the Cincinnatians, working with Kyle Smith, far touchline. Smith will throw it in as Lou City, the defending USL champions, resume action. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50.
You talk about the matchup there between Boehner and Smith. Tommy, the difference as well. Smith's playing as a wingback, Boehner's playing as a fullback.
Lancaster with a chance. Lancaster inside of the 18. His shot turned away. Deckel Kanon got his foot on it, and Hoyt clears it into the midfield. Louisville City showing pressure here in the first 10 minutes.
The biggest difference where I'm talking about a fullback and a wingback, slightly different with starting positions. Kyle Smith's going to be in a higher position, almost like a winger. Matt Boehner's going to be a little bit more defensive minded. You can see again just coming here to close down Smith.
Smith on the right, then Devin Williams tried to push it inside the 18. Hoyt turned it away. Craig wins it back. Craig just outside the 18, turns and puts it on the foot of Lancaster, and a foul is going to be called on Lou City. Richie Ryan was cut down, and taking a moment to come back to his feet. Free kick coming for the orange and blue. FC Cincinnati 6-2-2 on the season. Louisville City 6-2-1. So 1 point separate these clubs right now as we'll take a look at the foul.
Yeah, I think he just catches him coming through.
Just rolled his ankle a little bit on the collision.
I think Richie's back up. Here's the shot again that Evan Newton has said. Talk about concentration. Ball comes back in. Deckel Keenan does what he has to do, but Evan Newton's in that position again, covering his front post.
Newton and Deckel had that one covered. Newton did not play, did not make the trip to Pittsburgh for the Open Cup win on Wednesday night at Pittsburgh. Spencer Ritchie handled the duties in the 3-1 victory. Ledesma unable to win it back. Del Piccolo will turn it back. Now to the chest to Tosh. Jimenez near side. We'll switch it over to the right with Kyle Smith streaking down that touchline. Able to keep it in with his chest. Rasmussen comes over to help. Back to Pat McMahon. McMahon making his first start and appearance since April 7th, which was the last time these two teams met here at Nippert Stadium. Williams with a little room to work just outside the 18. Feeds it through. Over to the left. It was Rasmussen trying to find Lancaster. The pass was a little bit behind Cameron. Del Piccolo to the corner of the 18. Barrett took it off his foot.
Good solid tackle by Paddy Barrett. FC Cincinnati right now are doing a good job of compacting as well, trying to keep the lines tight. Trying not to allow Louisville really the pockets of space and trying to get Rasmussen, Lancaster dropping in. They're trying to deny that type of service into those players, those dangerous players for Louisville.
Jit Singh across midfield. Ball's eventually headed back onto the foot of Evan Newton, making his 7th start of the season. Comes in with a 0.83 goals against average on the year, saving 74% of the shots on target. 2 clean sheets so far this year for Evan Newton. Came in his first 2 starts of the season, both on the road.
He's definitely a guy that's grown in confidence and character. Kind of see just even from his body language, Tommy, as well, just the way he kind of struts a little bit. You want that from a goalkeeper.
Hoyt on the right side gives it off to Ledesma. And back to Hoyt. Talk about how good Manu Ledesma's been through the first 10 USL matches this year. 4 goals, 7 assists. His 7 assists have already tied the club record in a single season that Kenny Walker said in 2017. He's on pace for 24 here this season. Richie Ryan's going to be called for a foul. And that was an easy call for the match official, knocking down Cameron Lancaster.
You talk about Ledesma, a ton of buzz before he came in. Obviously, when the signing was announced, here's the foul again. Nothing really in it. I think it's a foul, but going back to Ledesma, really, Tommy, I mean, he's been a different class, different level, you know, these last 4 or 5 games. I think he's rewarding a lot of the excitement, really, that the fans have shown.
Lou City to the attacking third. Rasmussen taken down right at the top of the 18. And Richie Ryan's now
just cuts across him. Smart by Rasmussen as well. Knows that Richie's kind of trailing him from behind. Anytime. Tough position here for a goalkeeper as well, with the wall in the middle of the goal, Tommy. You got to really pick his side.
Lancaster hits it quick and beats Evan Newton. FC Cincinnati caught off guard defensively, and for the second time this season, Cameron Lancaster strikes early at Nippert Stadium.
I was just talking about it. Really, for a goalkeeper, it's tough. You've got the wall kind of set in the middle. Lancaster picks his left-hand side. I don't think Evan Newton really sees this till late. Maybe he comes through the wall.
It went between Nazmi and Kenny Walker.
If I'm a goalkeeper, I'm upset with that. Wall's job is to stay compact, stay tight. He's definitely going to have some words for his defenders on that one.
6th of the year for Lancaster, second time that he has scored against the orange and blue in early adversity. For FC Cincinnati, Alan Koch in his team presentation 90 minutes before the match warned the team that Louisville City was going to give them a battle today, and there would be tough moments they would have to overcome. Well, they faced one here early.
We talk about adversity. I mean, it's part of the game. We've got to manage it, Tommy. I think by this stage of the season, we've seen FC Cincinnati come back. They certainly have the character for it and the experience
and the firepower. And
the big thing, really, you know, again, is how do they respond? You know, can they get an early goal here, settle back in?
Hit a couple looks early on, haven't seen many since. Now trailing by a goal. FC Cincinnati with the 3rd most goals in the USL this season, with 20 coming into this match. Ball sent across into the chest of Ranjitsingh. Took an awkward bounce and caught him a little bit off guard, but he's able to collect without any pressure right there. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by Frisch's. Ranjitsingh, the Mercer product, where he appeared in 81 matches collegiately. And with Louisville City for a little bit over 3 years. Took over as the starter during 2016. His ball out across midfield, skips out on the near touchline. Lou City quickly wins back the throw-in. Painter on the left plays it into the midfield where Pat McMahon will pick it up. Louisville will retreat onto the foot of Tosh.
I think FC Cincinnati have to start pressing a little bit. Louisville playing with a back three center backs.
Barrett's header falls right to the chest of Jimenez. Walker comes over to win it back. Not able to do anything with it. Speedy Williams. Forward, Lancaster wanted a foul called as he came off his chest. He tried to spin and felt as though Paddy Barrett pulled him down. There was a little bit of contact, not enough to get the foul call.
Yeah, he felt the contact, trying to sell it. But Paddy Barrett was in a good position.
Louisville calling for a handball, won't get it. Illich into the middle, and Kanan, the captain for FC Cincinnati, plays it back to his goalkeeper. Hoyt and Walker with good ball movement on the right to Ledesma.
Well played. Much better, Tommy.
Mano will switch it over to the left. Bainer will pull it there.
Really trying to get numbers into the attack here. We talk about not really seeing chances. This is the moment, right, really, when you get into the opponent's half. Both fullbacks right now are in a high position. Can't give away possession like that, though, from Paddy.
Barrett misread the run of Danny Koenig. Foul is going to be called on the far side. Kanon got tied up right along the touchline. And the match official will rush over for a conversation with FC Cincinnati's captain, and he's called for the foul. The arm
he's just
came high.
leading with his arm across. Certainly a foul. I think one thing, really, that ball's gone out of bounds as well, Tommy, for a throw. For Declan Keenan, we've seen this before. He's the type of centre-back that wants to kind of impose himself physically on the opponent. Probably his first chance to really try to do that.
And we saw Forrest Lasso miss the match last week against North Carolina FC, and with yellow card accumulation, Ledesma and Kanon both sitting on 4 yellow cards, so their next booking will result in a 1-match suspension. Barrett heads it straight up into the air. Now to fall to the chest of Evan Newton. FC Cincinnati avoids danger there. Al-Badawi forward. The foot of Ledesma. Of course, Nazmi, 2 goals against his former club last week in the 4-1 win against North Carolina FC. That effort landed Naz on the USL Team of the Week. Manu in that match with a goal and 3 assists. He was, not surprisingly, the USL Player of the Week.
Unbelievable. We go back to Nazmi too. Those 2 strikes, Tommy, were fantastic. He's another player that we talked about, Ledesma showing form. He's another guy that's really, as the games continue and the minutes rack up for him, we're really starting to see his full potential. And another big off-season signing. He's certainly living up to the buzz now.
Certainly one that brought a lot of excitement. Talked about that quite a bit last Saturday. Jimenez forward, Lancaster chasing it down the left. Kanon slid in to knock it away. There'll be a throw-in for Lou City inside of the attacking third as we keep an eye on some other scores tonight. Nashville and Charleston head-to-head in Charleston, South Carolina, and Nashville at the half up 1-0. Liam Doyle with the first half goal. Paco Craig will switch it over to the right. That's where Kyle Smith will work. Smith rips a shot with his left foot, but doesn't get much on it, and bounces into Evan Newton.
Gotta say right now, Tommy, I think the possession maybe just edging in favor of Louisville. Maybe pretty close, I'd say, but they've certainly had more opportunities to put the ball in the box. Certainly a game of momentum. Anytime that you're playing against, especially against a good opponent, you've got to be able to handle the waves of pressure. I think a big thing now for FC Cincinnati in these next 10 minutes is trying to get into a rhythm.
Haven't found much at the offensive end so far. Richie Ryan has it come off his toe and won right back by Lou City. Jimenez, well, looked to cross it, and nobody home for Louisville City. We roll on to the 23rd minute here at Nippert Stadium on Hometown Heroes Night. Lou City, the visitor, on top 1-0 thanks to the Lancaster goal. Illich just outside the 18, feeds it inside, and Kanon there to poke it away. Williams to the right, comes off the foot of Smith. Matt Banner will go over to throw it in. Talked about it off the top, a huge crowd expected tonight. Certainly will be north of 25,000 fans. The sun has come out. It's stormed for about 45 minutes at Nippert, about 4:30. And I joked that it saved Teddy Kerr, the equipment guy for the orange and blue. He didn't have to water the pitch today.
He knew it.
Mother Nature took care of it for him.
He had a plan, Tommy.
Now it's turned out to be a beautiful night. Free kick for FC Cincinnati in the midfield. And you're absolutely right. Alan Koch, I'm sure right now, just looking for his club to find some sort of rhythm.
I think the tough thing, too, you got to think about really the strength of the team, the 4 central players for FC Cincinnati. Well, Richie Ryan, Kenny Walker, Corbin Bone.
Well, here's a chance for Bone up the left. Bone drops it for Ledesma. He'll send it across for Koenig. Bone closing in, and boy, did Ranjit Singh read that perfectly.
And just with those 4 players, what I'm talking about, really it's been a cancel cancellation at least from the 4 central players from Louisville. So they've not really been able to get on the ball. There's certainly a big reason and positive factor why FC Cincinnati get into a flow, get into a rhythm. I think they've got to start trying to figure out maybe wider starting positions, trying to find the space really in the build-up.
Newton sends it out in the direction of Koenig. Header won by Lou City, but it falls to Hoyt. Desma up the right, Koenig chasing, able to keep it in along the touchline. Danny pushing towards the 18, well defended. Paco Craig was able to turn it away. Here's a look back at that ball sent in from Manu.
Corbin just reads it, almost gets in between the goalkeeper and himself.
Well, if Ranjitsingh hesitates at all right there, then Corbin gets there first. Greg Ranjitsingh tonight making his 10th start in as many USL matches this year for Louisville City. 0.78 goals against average. He has 3 clean sheets this season. He also has 3 clean sheets all time against FC Cincinnati. This is his 7th start against the Orange and Blue. Badawi chasing as it will come back to Ranjitsingh inside of his own 18. He'll send it out to the midfield. Corbin Bone's going to win it back. Louisville will pick it up in the midfield. Jimenez with some room to work on the left. Into the middle, Lancaster spins around Bone. Onto the right side. That's where Kyle Smith will bring the pressure. To the corner of the 18, leaves it for Lancaster. Walker heads it down. Badawi drops it for Boehner, and he sends it to the midfield where Pat McMahon will pick it back up for Lou City.
FC just struggling a little bit. I think the difference in the matchups.
Ledesma with a great ball, played it to himself and then drops it to the right for Koenig. He'll give it to Nazmi. He rips a shot from 30 yards away, blocked by Louisville City. Bone tried to thread the needle and find Al-Badawi. Didn't work out. Lancaster with some pressure from Kenny Walker, and Kenny's going to be called for the foul, much to the chagrin of the fans here in the Queen City.
Yeah, Lancaster does well in all fairness, Tommy, as well. Just holds up play. He's kind of no real option really to try to wait and draw the foul. Tries to turn and spin on it. Kenny Walker gets a little upset, comes in strong. Is it a foul? I don't know. I'd like to see that again. I think he gets contact on that ball.
New City working right to left here in the first half, leading by a goal. Barrett on to Kanon. Now Walker trying to play it forward. Del Piccolo got in the way. To Illich. Illich will put it off to the left. Rasmussen. Walker came from behind and knocked it away. Orange and Blue will try to get it going in transition the other way. 3v3. Nazmi's ball is wide, trying to hook up with Manu.
And those are the opportunities when you talk about the differences in systems. Louisville playing 3 at the back. Nazmi being that extra attacker when he gets into it and joins in with Danny Koenig and Ledesma. FC Cincinnati have to do a better job of really breaking the line in the middle third and trying to find more and more of those situations.
Certainly felt like so far Louisville City's had the advantage in the midfield as far as the numbers are concerned in winning those tough battles.
I think if you look at it, they're playing 3-4-3 and Louisville really have an advantage. It's almost 6 against 4. So they've always got 2 extra players. I think a key for that, Justin Hoyt has to step up on this right-hand side. Matt Boehner has to step up on the left-hand side and really cancel that out.
Paddy Barrett lands in the book for the first time this year. Here's a look at the foul that drew the yellow card, taking out Cameron Lancaster. Got Lancaster on the ankle, put his arm in a bit for good measure.
A little bit of a nudge, I'd say. I think Paddy Barrett too. I think, you talked about Faris Lasso resting tonight. Good competition.
Yeah.
All three centre backs, Declan Keenan and Sam David as well, stepped in this past week.
Yep, Sam played on Wednesday night, making his 2018 debut. That meant that Declan and Paddy were able to rest for this one. On the free kick, sent into the 18, headed away. Declan not happy about the contact made there. Illich got his head on it across the middle, was looking far post. Pat McMahon was cheating forward. Louisville City's going to make a sub in the first half. I saw Luke Spencer warming up by himself. I think Cameron Lancaster's in more pain.
I think if we're watching him here, Tommy, he is hobbling a little bit.
We could see he pulled his sock down when he got hurt, and you could already see his ankle swelling up with a bruise after the knock he took early. So Lancaster will come out, and James O'Connor has to use a sub. He has a very capable one on the bench in Cincinnati native Luke Spencer, who of course played a year with FC Cincinnati, to come on in the 30th minute. You don't want to burn a sub in the first half. 7th appearance this year for Spencer, who was not dressed the last time these two teams met.
Obviously a lot of positives about Luke Spencer as well. We're very familiar with him, Tommy. Very physical player, good in the air as well, so a little bit different than Lancaster as well. Gives Louisville some different options. Maybe more service into him as a big target.
Lancaster leaves early, but he leaves his mark. Lou City winning 1-0. Ledesma working on the left inside of the 18. Will look to cross it in the direction of Koenig, cleared away by Lou City. Hoyt heads it down onto the foot of Ryan. Forward to Bone. Unable to turn it forward for Koenig. Williams got in the way. Smith will win it back for the defending USL champs. Illich forward. Spencer trying to get his first touch, knocked away. Bard will track it down. Jimenez intercepts the pass, gets around Ryan, and then Hoyt comes over to clean it up. Back for Illich with pressure coming from Walker. Just over 2/3 of the way through the first half. McMahon to the foot of Smith. His cross mistimed. And FC Cincinnati wins it back. Ledesma forward for Al-Badawi. Illich onto the right side, and Kyle Smith, the LaSalle High School product, and then attended Transylvania. Short stint with the Cincy Dutch Lions, and has been a mainstay for James O'Connor since joining Louisville City.
Yeah, talking with some of the PDL guys from the Dutch Lions as well. Impressed that last season. Went on. Obviously, then signed professionally in the USL with Louisville.
It's his 3rd season playing for Louisville City.
Very consistent performer as well for Louisville. Before tonight's game, 810 minutes he played.
He's the only player for either club to have played every single minute in this series. He's getting a start tonight, so he's on pace to keeping that streak alive. The yellow card has been shown to Richie Ryan on the tackle in the midfield.
You talked about it. Richie had 2 earlier fouls, and I think even got away with maybe a missed call on that 3rd one, but on this 4th one, just trips up, trying to play it on the ground. You've got to say it was coming, Tommy. Obviously, the referee had talked to him earlier in the game.
And he wasn't playing the ball there. So.
No, I kind of give him his final warning, so certainly a fair call.
Ryan in the book for the 3rd time this season. All yellow cards. 2nd yellow card for FC Cincinnati here in the first half. Jimenez will take the free kick in the midfield. looking to the far side post, and it does not connect. Evan Newton will have a goal kick. Trying to get it out there to Paco Craig, the big target at 6'2". Newton in all red tonight will put his right foot into it. Send it out across midfield where Williams collects. Albadawi wins it back. Bone. Tried to nutmeg Tosh, just didn't get there.
Yeah.
Albadawi will track it down along the end line, left side. Nazmi to Bone inside the 18. Back to Nazmi, and cleaned up at the last moment by Lou City. Played forward in the direction of Luke Spencer, much too heavy. Newton come over to play it just outside the 18.
Strong clearance there by Kyle Smith. Gives FC Cincinnati now a chance to build back again.
Misplayed in the midfield.
Got to continue FC Cincinnati to push these lines higher. Try to create transitional moments higher up the field if they can. Try to pin back Louisville.
Smith will track it down just shy of the end line. Now send it across in front of Newton. The header comes out to the near touch. Hoyt deflects the cross from Jimenez, but it goes out along the end line. We'll have the match's first corner kick. It'll be brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Jimenez will stand right there and take it. Comes in the 36th minute with the visitors already leading by a goal. Jimenez on the service. Headed away. Kanon and Koenig were there, but it was touched last by Louisville City. And the goal kick coming for Evan Newton. Certainly a lot of buzz here at Nippert Stadium this weekend. I know fans were delighted on Thursday when news came out of an announcement coming on Tuesday at Rheingeist when Major League Soccer will be here in the Queen City. You're going to have a lot of buzz anytime these two meet in a derby matchup, but I would certainly say that buzz increased on Thursday when the news came out.
I like this slight adjustment from Alan Cox too. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but Kenny Walker is now playing alongside Richie Ryan, neutralizing Rasmussen and Illich. Corbin Bone, you can see he's come over to this right-hand side, playing up at the top of a square. So instead of a diamond, really, they've turned it into a box midfield, which now cancels out Louisville's square of 4. And let's see here in the next 5 minutes if this makes a difference.
Louisville certainly has controlled the possession so far. Mono is trying to get it to Koenig, deflected away defensively by Lou City, and the orange and blue will have an opportunity on a set piece for the first time tonight. Ledesma, leading the USL with 7 assists, will come over to take the corner kick. It's brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Bard and Kanon will come forward to provide the big targets with Koenig. Ledesma went to the near post. Bounced around inside of the 6-yard box. Kanon was sure it went off Louisville City. Match official will disagree, and a goal kick coming for Ranjit Singh. Everybody will settle back out into the midfield. We'll continue to see how the tactical change by Alan Koch plays out for his lads.
Good adjustment, very good adjustment. Still think both fullbacks being around Hoyt can maybe add a little bit more pressure to the wingbacks for Louisville.
Paco Craig, one of the 5 starters for James O'Connor, who played 90 minutes Wednesday night. Sends it forward, but a bit heavy as it bounces onto the chest of Evan Newton. Newton at the top of the 18 sends it into the midfield. Over the head of Koenig. Tosh wins it back for the visitors. Del Piccolo. Over to Smith. Into the middle, Spencer. Spencer just mistimes the pass to Rasmussen, but he's able to pick it up along the end line.
Spencer really had Rasmussen running through there. Just overhit it.
Rasmussen staying with it. Brings it into the 18. Kyle Smith launches the shot up into the Bailey. Good look there for Louisville City. Not well executed by the Cincinnati native.
Rasmussen as well. You've got to respect the talent that he has. Very skillful player.
Well, the next home match here at Nippert Stadium will be against an MLS side. Minnesota United FC. June 6th, 7:30. Tickets on sale to the public this Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So if you're a season ticket holder, you can reserve your seats right now. If you're not, you can get your tickets at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday, May 30th, to see Minnesota United FC here 1 week later in the 4th round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Hoyt battling for the header, put his arm into the back of Jimenez, will be called for the foul.
I like that though. You know, I talked about the two fullbacks going and playing and pressuring two wingbacks. You see it with Jimenez. Justin Hoyt's not allowing him to turn.
Greg takes the free kick. Spencer heads it down, but nobody there for Louisville City as it comes onto the feet of Newton. The Bailey rocking in the 41st minute with their club trailing 1-0. Another early goal here at Nippert by Cameron Lancaster. The difference so far. Walker firing it into the bench area. Missed timing.
Kenny just looks a little frustrated. I think FC Cincinnati still have to be patient. He can find his far left-hand side. Ledesma's got a ton of space.
Walker to Koenig. Koenig trying to play it back to Kenny Walker, who was held up, and the foul's called.
And really, that weird pass from Donnie Koenig, I think, is going to find Kenny Walker in stride. He's upset about it. He's asking for a card.
Ledesma's upset too.
I think the difference in 2 yards by putting him back there, Tommy.
Will not be a booking on the foul called 10 yards outside of the 18, but a dangerous spot here for Manuel Ledesma to try to set something up.
Good chance for Ledesma. Important time as well. FC can try to get something from this, try to nip a goal back. Win at halftime, make some slight adjustments. I think the adjustments already have been on the field. Now it's about energy, by trying to build in confidence, trying to get a stranglehold of this game.
Walker and Ledesma standing over the ball.
Both players have wicked quality.
Ledesma with his left foot got under it and put it over the frame.
Yeah, just leans back a little bit. He's going to be disappointed with that effort. Just see him kind of leaning back.
More times than not, Manuel Ledesma is going to challenge the goalkeeper with a look like that.
It's a tough technique, really, from that distance as well. In that angle, you've got to get it up and over the wall. Try to put dip on it so it comes back down. This is much better by FC Cincinnati. Just at least trying to neutralize in that central position.
Ledesma now working on the left side, battling with Pat McMahon.
Good win.
Kanon won it back out across midfield, and Paco Craig will come over to collect it for Louisville City. On to McMahon on the right. Ledesma coming in quickly with pressure. Tosh will push it forward up the right side. Smith.
Got to be able to put pressure here. We talked about balls whipping in. Big guy like Luke Spencer in the box is always dangerous. Try to cut off service.
Hoyt's ball, trying to play it forward, comes off the chest of Jimenez, and Justin, the Englishman, will come over to throw it in. Orange and blue hoping to find a spark here before heading into the dressing room, trailing by a goal late in the first half. Bart got tied up with Luke Spencer. Spencer went down. McMahon put his arm around Ledesma, then he sends it up the right side. Koenig showing his great work rate to catch up with it, but didn't quite get there. Step too late as it snuck out along the end line.
Not seen that too often either, Tommy. That ball in behind the back line of Louisville. A player like Danny Koenig certainly wants to get in stride and try to test that back three.
I have 2 minutes of stoppage time. The possession right now 52% of Louisville. I expected it maybe be a little bit more in favor of the visitors.
I think the last 10 minutes, I think FC Cincinnati have grabbed back a little bit of that possession.
The striking number right now, 7 shots for Lou City, just 2 for the orange and blue.
I think that's the difference right there, is chances created.
Walker trying to create one in the direction of Danny Koenig. Koenig with some pressure on Tosh as he has to play it back to his goalkeeper.
Tosh did very well, actually.
Yeah.
Cheeky little flick back over and heads it back to the goalkeeper. You don't see that often from center backs.
He had the big man right there on his back.
It's then if you mess up, you're going to hear about it from your coach.
Absolutely. Walker and Bone working up the right side. Ball for Koenig is too heavy and will slowly roll onto the feet of Ranjit Singh. Lou City, no doubt, right now content with trying to burn off 2 minutes of stoppage time and
absolutely
get in with the advantage, not give FC Cincinnati any type of momentum going into the break. We will hear from Manu Ledesma coming up at the break. A feature on the USL's leading passer right now. Barrett turning it up the right side. Hoyt making the run. 2 white jerseys closing in. Lou City wins it back.
They try to win those second balls between Kenny Walker and Corbin Bone. Just kind of look at each other.
Barrett misplays it and ends up on the foot of Luke Spencer, and then Potty does well.
Very well.
To pick it up defensively.
Yeah, good strength, composure as well. Knew that he couldn't go forward. He very casually turns back and plays the goalkeeper and starts another possession.
Walker on the right. Maybe last opportunity before we get the halftime whistle. Spencer to Williams. Lou City will look for one more push. Smith closing in on the right side with Boehner on him defensively. Kyle Smith into the 18. His shot deflected by Matt Boehner. Cleared away by Kenny Walker. And Remy Touchon will look down at his wrist. And there is the halftime whistle at Nippert Stadium. A 1-0 advantage for Louisville City. Lindsey Patterson is with Alan Koch. Let's head downstairs.
Coach, you're seeing that pressure from Lou City. You made a slight adjustment late in the first half. Your guys have played from behind before, but how do you manage the second 45?
That first 45 minutes wasn't good enough, hands down. I think we played well for the first 5, maybe 10 minutes, and then we took our foot off the pedal and really allowed Louisville back into the game. And if we don't impose ourselves on a team like them, they just grow in confidence. And you can see as the first 45 minutes went along, they just got better and better, and we didn't respond in a positive way. Having said that, now we're going to go make some extra adjustments, and we expect to see a much, much better effort in the second 45 minutes, and hopefully that'll set us up for success.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. Alan Koch and FC Cincinnati head into the dressing room, trailing to Louisville City at the half for the second time this season. Cameron Lancaster came out, but not before tallying his 6th goal of the season. Halftime coverage next. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. So far this season for the Orange and Blue, Emmanuel Ledesma has been a standout in 2018. As we roll through our halftime coverage, it's a chance to get to know the native of Argentina.
I started to play soccer at 6, when I was 6 years old. I get the number 45 because I always looking for 9, and then I get the 45 because 4 plus 5 is 9. Biggest influence in the soccer was first one Maradona and the second one Juan Román Riquelme.
By Manuel Ledesma. Ledesma's going to chip Crepu for his first goal of the year and 3 second-half strikes for the Orange and Blue.
What a finish again. Clinical, Tommy.
Yeah, 2 goals, 1 assist tonight. Not a bad night for you. What was it like to experience your first win at Nippert?
It was incredible. It was a tough match from the beginning, but we try to play, we do our working hard, and then we create the chances to score a goal. And fortunately, I can score and I can do assist to Danny, to my teammates.
With a chance inside of the 18, sends it across to the right, and Koenig will push it in. King Koenig gives FC Cincinnati the lead. An opportunity early in the second half. Manuel Ledesma gets the brace with his second goal.
It was an incredible week because we do 3 of 3, that's 9 points, and then we reached the first place tonight, and then we are happy, and we need to keep going in this way, be positive and be focused every single game.
Halftime rolls on here at Nippert Stadium between FC Cincinnati and Louisville City FC. Right now it's time to take a look at the latest highlights in the USL.
If you ever wondered what 102 appearances for your club looks like documented, there it is in TIFO right there, the Brad Ring.
Oh, and it's a goal. What a strike from Los Dos. Efrain Alvarez has come into the game. 15-year-old strikes it. Now Alvarez with a shot. And what a strike by Alvarez, who now has 6 goals in the last 3 matches.
Now he's just outside the 18. Strikes it with his right foot. And right on cue. A huge goal.
And finds Langsdorff. He takes the shot and puts it in the back of the net. Langsdorff has a brace in the first half.
Takes hesitation step, and it's the save produced by Eric Dick.
Saved by Crepu.
Put numbers back. Will strike it and put it in the back of the net. Marvin Loria likely seals the 3 points with his first ever goal in USL.
This one comes into the center. There's your goal! The goal! The goal for OKC! The header by Callum Ross. The streak is over, and the Greens have the lead 1-0. The power outage is no more. With Gallagher, palmed aside by Ranchette. Slip one in, and the ball gets by
Cincinnati trailing at home in a derby matchup at halftime against rival Louisville City, 1-0 at the half. Tom Glader alongside Kevin McCloskey. And Kevin, you heard Alan Koch going into the dressing room. Not enough quality in the first 45 minutes for the orange and blue.
Quality and energy, I think. Yeah, I think, you know, there was a slight adjustment, I think, tactically of just the starting positions of the midfield four. And I think once that happened, you know, it certainly evened things out a little bit. But Alan's certainly not satisfied. You know, I know and we know that this team is capable of much more. And hopefully we see that in the second half.
Well, tonight's a battle of first place and second place in the USL's Eastern Conference. And let's take a look at the table and where things stand right now. Well, first the scoreboard, then we'll get to the table. The scores around the USL, a final. Tampa Bay goes up to Toronto FC 2 and gets the win. Charlotte with 2 goals at Richmond, leading on the road scoreless in Pittsburgh in the Battle of Pennsylvania, and Charleston and Nashville in the second half right now tied at 1 apiece. So that takes us to the Eastern Conference standings and where everything stands right now with Louisville City. And go to the schedule next. The schedule, June 2nd. FC Cincinnati's on the road, a 1 o'clock matchup next Saturday at New York Red Bulls 2. Then the Open Cup match, we talked about it a bit in the first half, 7:30 here at Nippert Stadium on June 6th. Back on the road, June 9th, Bethlehem Steel, June 13th, and June 16th. That will start a wild run of home games for the Orange and Blue. I promised you the standings, don't worry. Here they are, FC Cincinnati still atop in first place with 20 points. Lou City has a game at hand and leading right now, so if this result were to hold, then the defending champs would jump back in to first place. We'll take a break here at Nippert Stadium, and when we return, give you all the highlights from the first 45 minutes, give you some stats, and then have the final 45. That's coming up next. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Tom Glader and Kevin McCloskey with you here at Nippert Stadium. Louisville City with an early goal from Cameron Lancaster, leading 1-0 at the half. Awaiting the return of the teams here to the pitch. What do you expect to see different from the Orange and Blue over the last 45 minutes, Kevin?
Energy, I think, is the big thing. I think that's what Alan talked about with Lindsay before he went off into halftime. You know, I don't think he's happy at all with just what's been on show tonight. Slight adjustments tactically. I talked about it in the first half. Just changing that box midfield from a diamond to a box. They kind of neutralize. And I think, you know, the two fullbacks of Justin Hoyt and Matt Bainer, I think they've got a push up a little bit and play on the wing backs of Louisville as well. But I think overall, you know, like we talked about just before, I don't think it's the performance we're used to seeing for the last 4 to 6 games, and hopefully that's a change in the second half.
Tonight's halftime highlights are brought to you by PapaJohns.com. When FC Cincinnati scores twice, you will save 50% on pizzas the next day. Here's the free kick from Cameron Lancaster that gave Lou City the early lead.
I think Kevin Newton really can't see it till late. The wall breaks, which for a goalkeeper is really disappointing. Ends up being enough from Rasmussen just to put it into the bottom corner.
So that gave Lou City the lead early. A bit of a chippy match as well, with a couple yellow cards handed out for the orange and blue.
We saw a few, you know, kind of hard challenges from Richie Ryan too. This challenge at least goes into the book for the referee. I think possession, when you talk about that, has been slightly in favor. I think the biggest stat that really stands out are shots. Shots for Louisville have been 8, for FC Cincinnati being 2, and shots on target really being 3-0, and that's significant. You know, Alan's got to be talking about possession with a purpose and trying to find ways really to test this goalkeeper.
9 fouls on FC Cincinnati. Lindsey Patterson was in the dressing room with the home club. Let's head down to the pitch and check in on what was discussed.
Yeah, guys, the first 30 seconds, well, they were silent. Alan Koch took a deep breath, and he told his guys the 4-3-1 worked against Pittsburgh, and he wants to see it again here tonight, but he knows you don't win on individual performances. He looked at each of the guys in the dressing room. He asked them, how will each of you respond? The goal in the second half, bring up the tempo and make Louisville tired.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. I think she forgot the 2. The 4-2-3-1 worked at times this year, and maybe that's what FC Cincinnati gives a look at. We'll see how they come out tactically here in the second half.
I think any adjustments really from halftime are usually figured out in the first 10 minutes of the half. Can't imagine Louisville are going to adjust any, so we'll have to wait and see how this unfolds, Tommy. The biggest thing, like we talked about there at halftime, the energy has to be there.
See how FC Cincinnati responds out of the dressing room, trailing by a goal. That match that Lindsay referenced against Pittsburgh, they trailed 2-0 at home and got a draw. But there is no doubt that the big crowd here at Nippert Stadium wants all 3 points tonight. This broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by Sharefax. K9 with a free kick at midfield in the direction of Ledesma. He's called for a foul, knocked over Pat McMahon as the ball was coming onto him. Well, the two teams worked their way back into the midfield. Did want to send our condolences to Pat. Lost his father a few weeks back. Of course, Pat was with FC Cincinnati, a model citizen for 2 seasons, played a lot in 2016, not as much last year, and lost his father John on May 7th after a short battle with illness. So certainly thinking about Pat, and glad to see him back out on the pitch and starting for the first time since April 7th here tonight. Foul's called in the midfield, where Louisville City a bit too aggressive. Illich is called for the foul, and FC Cincinnati will take the free kick. The home side working right to left here in the second half, clad in orange and blue. Lou City with their white and gold tops, working left to right. Rasmussen will pick it up, push it out wide right for Kyle Smith. Cincinnati back to Rasmussen towards the corner. Rasmussen nutmegs Richie Ryan. Matt Boehner came over to send it out along the end line, and Lou City, leading by a goal, will get a corner kick early in the second half.
Rasmussen, we talked about this in the first half, has a ton of skill. Nice little step over there, just nutmegs Richie Ryan and goes into the box. Ends up rewarding a corner. We talked about the big man Luke Spencer. He's going to be a big target here on this set piece.
Kyle Smith's going to play it short for Rasmussen. Matt Ledesma breaks it up. And then Ledesma pushes it out near touchline. Ledesma right now giving an earful to the linesman on the near side. Smith will throw it in. Smith will throw it in. Paco Craig. Ryan trying to get to it as the ball was intended for Jimenez. Broken up. And FC Cincinnati out into the midfield.
Just stays in this third again. Louisville get another chance with Jimenez on this left-hand side.
Smith to Speedy Williams. Back-heeled it into the middle. Now gets it back right at the 18. Sliding tackle from Kenny Walker disrupts. Al-Badawi looking for Koenig across the middle. Well defended there by Paco Craig.
This will be a key. We talked about in the second half what adjustments and changes. The big thing really is now in these transitional moments, Tommy is trying to get a possession established. It's Danny Koenig, Ledesma, Nazmi really being able to hold the ball under pressure and turn and then play forward or combine.
Walker with his left foot, nobody there as he played it out across midfield. Just gave it right back to Lou City. Keep up to date with all the best social media from around the league as Kelsey Steele hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds.
It's a great pass really from the goalkeeper. You look at that. Good technique just to find Kyle Smith on this right-hand side.
Ledesma wins the ball, touches it forward for Koenig trying to get there. Ledesma was knocked down after he sent the pass. A free kick will come in the midfield. His touch was a bit heavy for Danny.
Bit of a heavy pass, but certainly some contact. Gets tripped.
Just a little extra shoulder maybe from Tosh. May have done
I think he sells it a little, Tommy, but
part of the deal, right?
I think from the referee's angle, he was in a position to do so.
The orange and blue looking for some sort of spark in the second half. Trailing by a goal in the 51st minute. Kenny Walker will take the free kick. Sends it into the 18. Headed away, Richie Ryan. Went to play it and the whistle came. I didn't see the flag up. A foul called inside the 18 on FC Cincinnati.
I think there might have been a little bit of grabbing. Maybe Danny Koenig.
Kanan was forward as a target as well. It'll be a free kick for Ranjit Singh, native of Pickering, California. Subs for both teams warming up in earnest on their respective sidelines. Williams will send it out wide right for Kyle Smith. Remember, Louisville already used a sub in the 30th minute, bringing on Luke Spencer for Cameron Lancaster. He took a knock early, scored the goal, checked out. Spencer came on. So 2 remaining for James O'Connor. Now Koch has all 3. Craig plays it back to his goalkeeper and Ranjit Singh out into the midfield. Boehner heads it down, but out along the touchline, and that's where Pat McMahon will throw it in. Illich. Back for Del Piccolo. Barrett trying to win it back. Richie Ryan.
Good patience.
Looking for Nazmi, but instead went out wide for Boehner, who has some space.
No, good decision. Just allowing Matt Boehner just to step into that space. We talk about the possession here. It's very important to get into a flow. Try to increase tempo and speed of play.
Certainly didn't see a lot of flow or speed of play for FC Cincinnati in the first half.
No, we didn't see it at all, really, Tommy. I think the last 3 games especially, I think FC Cincinnati have dominated possession.
Nazmi was trying to pick it up at the top of the 18. McMahon knocked him over. No whistle. We've seen fouls called with less contact. I checked that. I think the foul was called on Nazmi.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I could see allowing the clubs to play on there. But
that would have been a good call, honestly, just to play on. Like Louisville actually had 1 possession back. I think there was a reason really to call a foul.
See, assistant coach Johan Dame was expressing his displeasure to the fourth official.
I think the displeasure comes that, you know, it's boiling into a little bit of frustration when I talk about that flow and rhythm. And really, FC Cincinnati have not been able to do that tonight. It's certainly not what the coaching staff want to see, and even for players too. They want to get possession. They want to try to get back into this game.
It's now 246 minutes since the last time FC Cincinnati scored a goal against Louisville City. That was Danny Koenig back on July 15th of last season. What was the game-winning goal against their rival? Of course, the clean sheet for Ranjit Singh back on April 7th, and so far clean sheet for Louisville City here at Nippert tonight. 54th minute, it's 1-0 thanks to the Cameron Lancaster goal in the 15th minute. Barrett with his right foot comes off the head of Koenig, headed away by Paco Craig, and Danny Koenig's called for the foul. And again, the fans getting a little restless as well.
Fans starting to sense it a little bit. Very important. We talked about keys to the game as well as focus. A ton of time left, Tommy. Just an elbow to the back. Referee's right there.
Another foul, maybe fueled by a little bit of frustration.
Can't get caught up, you know, in arguing with the referee either. They've just got to kind of get on with it. They're trying to create their own chances. Here's a good chance.
Bone to Koenig is taken down outside the 18. Louisville's headed in a book for the first time tonight. Danny Koenig getting the face of Del Piccolo, while the match official has his back to those two.
Tell me, Danny Koenig's not fired up for this game, Tommy. Another chance as well, and I talked about it. Danny Koenig's the type of player, doesn't want the ball at the feet. He wants the ball in behind the back line, wants a chance to run at players, and run at that goalkeeper full speed. And on that foul, really denies him that good opportunity.
First booking of the night comes on Louisville City in the 56th minute. Here's a look at the ball for Danny Koenig.
Has body position on him. I think it's Paco Craig that catches him. There might have been coverage from that extra Louisville player coming across. But resulting now a dangerous free kick, top of the box. Another chance maybe to see Kenny Walker or Ledesma.
Now James O'Connor is screaming down at Johan Dame on the FC Cincinnati bench. The linesman and the fourth official trying to break up that argument. In the meantime, a golden opportunity here for the orange and blue. Can they find the equalizer? Ledesma will strike it. Goes off the post. Cleared away by Speedy Williams. He had Ranjit Singh beat. And it finds the woodwork.
That's a great strike by Ledesma. We'll see it here, Tommy. Whips it around the wall. Ranjit Singh, I don't think, is going to cover that. It smacks off the bar. Just unlucky. No follow-up player coming through.
And Johan Dame has been sent off. The fourth official just sent somebody off from the FC Cincinnati bench. I'm pretty sure it's Johan. It is. He was yelling down at James O'Connor. O'Connor was firing back. Now Alan Koch screaming in the direction of the fourth official.
Well, I talked about it, Tommy. Composure, got to be very focused in these situations. Temperature certainly flurrying. Emotions are high. I think Allen's got to take the next 5 minutes, settle his team down, get back into this game.
Second time in 2 years, Dame's been sent off. Koenig trying to get the header across the middle, knocked away by Louisville City. They'll scramble to keep it in play. That would have been a corner kick had it gone out along the end line. No question. FC Cincinnati has to settle down. They've got some momentum here in the second half. Keep doing what they're doing and creating chances.
And it happens in derby games, Tommy. The passion's there, the emotion's there. I think FC just have to settle down a little bit, be smart.
This matchup has not lacked emotion or controversial moments through the previous eight meetings. Kenny Walker in the direction of Koenig, headed away by Louisville, who's now starting to pack it in a bit, leading by a goal.
They're trying to keep this rhythm going here. Quick free kick by Richie Ryan. Get possession, started back.
Corbin Bone nearly got it to Koenig. Nazmi crashing in. Now Ledesma will pick it up outside the 18. Ledesma with his left foot sails a bit over the frame.
He's trying to bend it into that top left-hand corner as well. Sees the space just in front of Pat McMahon.
There's the look from Manu.
Lacks a little bit of quality, but again, good opportunity.
I think Greg Ranjitsing's heart is beating a little bit with the Bailey singing behind him. And Manu Ledesma firing shots.
Thundering. His heartbeat's thundering right now.
Ranjitsing, the veteran, out into the midfield.
And FC Cincinnati have to use this energy, Tommy, now just to keep pushing forward. Quick combination play. We're starting to see it. Corbin Bone finding Ledesma. Nazmi Al-Badawi as well. So the types of players, you've got to get into these pockets of space. You've got to get good possession in the attacking third and allow the quality to shine.
Kenan gets around Rasmussen. Ledesma working on Pat McMahon. Now some space on the right. Corbin Bone will send it over to Justin Hoyt, just a hair behind him. Hoyt to the final third. Walker across the middle, skips over Nazmi's foot. Picked up defensively by Lou City. Boehner with a nice challenge. Try to keep it in play. It skips away from Baines, and it'll be a throw-in for Lou City. First 15 minutes of the second half now in the books, and certainly the energy has been better from the orange and blue.
I think the energy, already we've seen a free kick. Very, very close. A couple of through passes. Danny Koenig almost on the end, a couple of those. So starting to change a little bit. I think the quality and possession needs to still improve, Tommy. But you're certainly seeing a lot more energy from these players.
Walker back to Newton. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by UC Health. Kenan trying to knock it into the middle, picked up by Speedy Williams. He had Luke Spencer, but pushed it heavy, and it ends up in the chest of Newton.
Testing ball there from Richie Ryan out to Paddy Bart. The pass in from Declan Keenan a little high. Tough for Richie Ryan to really settle it.
You and I talked about maybe some heavy legs for Louisville City tonight after many of their starters played all 90 minutes in the midweek match against Louisville City. James O'Connor's going to use a sub here. Brian Ownby, who played 71 against St. Louis but did not start today, will come into the match. And Ilya Illich, who did not play on Wednesday, actually will come off. So some fresh legs for James O'Connor, bringing on Brian Ownby. He's been involved in a few tough tackles and controversial moments over the years against FC Cincinnati.
He's been a difference in some games for sure, Tommy. Ownby coming in for Illich. I go a little bit more defensive minded. We've already started to see it the last 10 minutes. This Louisville team have started to bunker in a little bit more.
Alan Koch is getting ready to counter with his first sub of the night as well. Ball comes off Kenan's arm. That'll be whistled in the midfield. Emery Welshman has come over and put his jersey top on, so we will wait to see who Koch is going to go with to put Welshman into the match. Spencer pushing it out wide for Smith. Now Rasmussen. Smith at the corner of the 18, working around Ryan. Bone deflects it, but Lou City able to keep the possession. Koenig will come off when Welshman comes on. And he'll be at the next opportunity.
Well, another good sub. Another player that brings a lot.
Rasmussen trying to get into the middle. Remember Welshman, a hat trick in cup play against Detroit City FC a week and a half ago. Williams into the middle. Spencer turns on it. Rips a shot from the top of the 18, and it'll sail high over the frame. That will allow Welshman into the game.
Seeing Welshman come in as well. You talked about the hat trick. I think the competition between those three forwards really, Danny Koenig, Ledesma, Emery Welshman, holds a great option for Alan Koch.
Koenig comes off. Welshman comes on his 11th appearance on the season. He has a goal and an assist in league play. Tonight's attendance, 26,495. That's the biggest crowd so far here at Nippert Stadium in 2018. Ownby wins the ball just past Kenny Walker. Has some space. Barrett closing in and makes the defensive play to get it away from Ownby.
We talked about Ownby coming on as that sub for James O'Connor. Already starting to show the threat that he has. Good tackle by Paddy Barrett.
Barrett heads the ball away with Newton diving. Hoyt clears it into the midfield.
Another good defensive clearance by Paddy Barrett.
Welshman gets his first touch with the fresh legs. Louisville clears it away. Here's a look at that opportunity for Lou City, and Barrett finding the header. You know, in that play before at the top of the 18, he had to be brave there, playing on a yellow card. Going into that tackle and knocking it away right at the top of the 18.
It's all about timing, Tommy, but good firm challenge on Ownby. Paddy Barrett's looked solid tonight.
McMahon will head it away near touchline. FC Cincinnati, he'll get to throw it in. Inside of the attacking third as Boehner trots up the near touchline. Throw into the foot of Welshman, finds Nazmi, and his shot sails high. Had a good look at it.
First shot, really, I think, from Nazmi. It's been pretty quiet tonight in general, Tommy. Finds the ball. First time he's really able to turn, receive on his back foot, and face goal.
Final sub coming for James O'Connor. It'll be veteran George Davis IV, the native of Lima, Ohio, and 30-year-old midfielder coming on, and Magnus Rasmussen, who had a solid match, checks out. Alan Koch has 2 subs remaining. Now I can see Michael Ahoud and Lance Lang appear to be the ones working the hardest. Deco Kanon taken down in the midfield. Luke Spencer not happy with the foul call. Spencer getting an explanation. He felt as though maybe Deckel with a bit of a dive.
I think Luke maybe instead of jumping just pushes his backside into Deckel Keenan.
Bone looking for the cross. Welshman got a piece of it with his head, but not enough to direct it into the goal.
It's a great effort by Emery Welshman too. Shows great athleticism. Attacks it very brave as this ball comes in from Corbin Bone. Leaps, almost gets enough on it.
Pat McMahon was there to keep him from finding the perfect position to redirect it.
It's the type of effort play you want to see from your center forwards.
1-0. Visiting Louisville City on top in the 67th minute. Matching the result in the home opener on April 7th. Richie Ryan collides with Kyle Smith at the midfield. They're going to call medical on for both sides.
I think the referee here too is probably going to buy him a little bit of time to make the call. Yeah, exactly which way it's going.
That's a joke. 24 out his leg up.
You got the managers yelling at each other again. Let's see where Remy Touchon lands once medical's done attending to the 2 guys who are down on the pitch right now. Alan Koch is all the way at midfield, arguing with the 4th official. Tell you what, this whole officiating crew has had their hands full tonight.
Been a heated conversation between both sets of coaches as well, Tommy. But again, fires up this derby.
Here's a look at it, and we'll decide.
I think both players really are going to. They both got their feet at the same height.
Dekel Kanan, the captain for FC Cincinnati, is standing there with the match official as Aaron Powell continues to attend to Richie Ryan.
I think that the unfortunate thing here for Richie, I think he might have strained his knee a little bit. Looks like he's twisted. Aaron Powell looks like he's trying to straighten it a little bit.
Mentioned Lahoud was warming up in earnest, and certainly he could step in and replace Richie if Allen had to go to his bench here. What has been an intense second half suddenly gets a breather here in the 69th minute. A halftime score in Major League Soccer right now in Minneapolis. Minnesota United and Montreal at 0-0. Why is that of interest? Because Minnesota United is here June 6th. Tickets on sale Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Of course, Major League Soccer will be here on Tuesday for an announcement at Rheingeist. That is at 5:30. Commissioner Don Garber in town for some big news. Certainly has added to the energy tonight here at Nippert Stadium. Ryan now to his feet. So both players are up, but Ryan hobbling towards the sideline with Aaron Powell. It appears Remy Touchon may leave this with no booking.
I don't know. There's definitely not a booking involved for me, at least, Tommy. They contacted. I think it's a fair challenge from both players, really. I think the intent to win the ball's there from both of them.
That appears to be where it will be left. Alan Koch having a conversation with Richie Ryan right at midfield. Kyle Smith is going to be called over too. Both players involved will have to wait to return. Paddy Barrett sent in the direction of Mano Ledesma. McMahon wins it. Ownby does well to get it around Painter. Forward for Smith. Both players now back on. Ownby into the 18 with Kanan trailing, and Brian Ownby not able to do anything with it. Alan Koch is now in the face of the fourth official. He's going to have to be careful.
He's got to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely, because the fourth official has already shown off Yohan Dame. And if Alan Koch is sent off, that would leave Jack Stern to be managing the match.
I think Jack Stern, honestly, he's got to grab Alan Koch here and pull him back.
The frustration boiling over on FC Cincinnati's bench as well as on the field. Not happy with the whistle blown now, as it'll be a free kick for Louisville City in the 71st minute.
I understand that the passions are going, but Alan's got to take a deep breath, settle back in. There's a lot of time left. It's going to be very important in making these decisions, subs, any types of differences in strategy.
Michael Lahoud was just handed his kit top. Appears he'll be the next one coming on for the orange and blue. Trailing by a goal with 19 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here at Nippert. Walker in the direction of Nazmi. Didn't connect. Davis will bring it up the right side for Lou City. Finds Luke Spencer. Kanan, the big Israeli, gets in the way. It's felt all night like the partnerships for FC Cincinnati. The passes have been just a hair off.
Just a little bit off.
And give credit to the visitors for creating some of that.
No, I think, again, you know, Louisville are a good team. Very organized in their approach. However, I think that the biggest thing that we see is just a lack of quality a little bit from FC Cincinnati tonight. So almost 20 minutes left in this game, though.
Lahoud's going to try to provide some of that coming on for Kenny Walker when he gets the opportunity.
FC Cincinnati have to create a little bit of width as well. Try to stress this back line.
Banner tried to flick it on Nazmi Albato. He didn't get there. Foul was called. That'll get Lahoud into the match. Michael Lahoud will make his 5th USL appearance. He started 2 league matches. Has an assist. Played all 90 on Wednesday night.
Talk about experience as well. Lahoud coming in, a player that's impressed a lot in training, Tommy. Some of these Open Cup games as well. See if he can bring a spark now to the attack.
Ownby trying to provide that off the bench for Lou City. Drops it back for Jimenez. Onto the right, Davis. Davis with a right-footed shot. A bouncing ball. Skips over Evan Newton. And Louisville City may have just delivered the dagger in the 74th minute. George Davis IV, his second goal in league play. And Lou City with a 2-goal lead here on the road.
Very cruel goal as well for Evan Newton to concede off a deflection. He's committed to diving, tries to get back up and recover. There's nothing he can do about that. Very, very frustrating for a goalkeeper.
2-0, Lou City. And now the orange and blue have to scramble and try to make something happen in the final 15 minutes.
Yeah, got to roll the dice a little bit here, Tommy. Try to gamble. Push numbers forward. Try to be really, really aggressive. Nick one back. Everything to play for.
Alan Koch has one sub remaining. Has the explosive Jimmy McLaughlin available if needed, or Lance Lang possibly. Throwing inside of the defensive third for Lou City. Bone to Ryan. LaHood will play it back to Barrett. Jimenez got the assist there, his second on the year. Davis now has 13 goals all time with Louisville City. Pat McMahon will come over and knock it onto his left, where the free kick will come for Louisville City. The rivals sure have had FC Cincinnati's number so far here in 2018. 1-1-0 back on April 7th, and leading 2-0 here in the second half at Nippert Stadium. It would clinch the River City rivalry for the second consecutive year. And of course, could be the last time these two teams play at Nippert Stadium for a while.
Yeah.
LaHood to Ryan. Ryan with a move to keep it alive up the middle. Go back out wide to the right. Nazmi picks it up there into the middle, looking for Welshman, headed away by Tosh up into the Bailey, and a corner kick opportunity. Maybe FC Cincinnati on the set piece can find the goal. Get some energy back here at Nippert.
Yeah, they've got to send numbers up here, Tommy, for the set piece. See Paddy Barr coming up.
Yeah, Boehner and Hoyt will stay back. Everybody else forward.
I said you got to really try to roll the dice now, make something happen.
Ledesma on the service, and a whistle came as Paddy Barrett was trying to sneak in far post.
Straight over to Kyle Smith.
Yeah, quick chat with Kyle Smith. I believe he put his arms into Barrett. Ledesma will play it again. 77th minute. FC Cincinnati looking for some life. Ledesma's service well short. Hoyt sends it back. Kanon gets his head on it, and it goes just wide to the left of Ranjit Singh.
Very unlucky. Does really well with the angle. Pushes it back across, trying to catch out Ranjit Singh. Just sails slightly wide. Good ball in from Justin Hoyt. Just unlucky with that effort.
Kanon over to Hoyt. Hoyt into the midfield. Welshman. Welshman got it into the middle to Nazmi. He got a touch on it, but not a good one, and Welshman couldn't catch up with the ball as it rolled on to Ranjit Singh.
Yeah, Welshman plays it in with pace. Nazmi just unable to control. Welshman screaming at him too. I think he wants that, a return pass.
Koch has decided on his final sub. It'll be Lance Lang. Lang scored a goal in the 61st minute on Wednesday against Pittsburgh. He will replace Nazmi Al-Badawi. Smith with some room on the right. Barrett closing in, gets just enough of it to slow down the run. Now trying to clear it away, and he'll do so, and it'll roll out near touchline. Here's the sub. Third and final for Alan Koch. Lang comes on for the 6th time in USL play. Speedy Williams with the ball for Lou City. Into the attacking third, comes off the foot of Boehner. Lang trying to work up the left side, has it poked away, and he'll try to quickly throw it back in. 79th minute, 2-0 Lou City. Defending champs right now, primed to move back into first place in the Eastern Conference. A strong road showing. Craig chases it down over to the left side.
Louisville just trying to take this thing out here. Probably the most frustrating thing for any player, any coach as well, Tommy, when that happens.
Smith up the right, mistimed his ball for Davis. Boehner will come over, look to throw it in quickly. Barrett forward, looking for Ledesma. Long ball comes off the head of Craig and rolls to the chest of Ranjitsingh. Ranjitsingh out across midfield. Boehner with the header. Williams wins it back. Spencer for Ownby. Played it for Williams. Barrett got there first, then he's bulldozed over by Williams.
I think Barrett and Keenan have a pretty solid, solid performances tonight. Both goals are really, can't blame the two center backs. Certainly a disappointing, performance tonight, Tommy. We expected to see a different look from FC Cincinnati than we did tonight. Still time, though. Try to salvage something from this game.
Luke Spencer is knocked down by Dekel Kanan, and that will get him a yellow card. Kanan now suspended for the match next Saturday. His first of the night, but his 5th of the season.
Spencer does well, just trying to turn him. Dekel Keenan pulls him back. The referee's right there in position.
Dangerous spot here for Lou City. Del Piccolo and Jimenez stand over it. Man on the Desmond nearby being held off by the match official Remy Touchon. Jimenez will take it. Newton diving to his right makes the save. It'll be a corner kick for Lou City.
Good free kick by Jimenez. He whips this just underneath. Evan Newton reacts well. Follow-up save as well. A little fortunate, just comes off his head. I think goes out for a corner kick.
Jimenez will take it from the far side. The corner kick's brought to you by the Levy Law Offices in the 83rd minute. Jimenez on the service. Ball bouncing around. Comes out to Davis, and Newton makes another save. FC Cincinnati will push the other way.
Got to break quickly here, Tommy.
Lang looking for Welshman. Ball comes into Ranjitsingh. And Greg Ranjitsingh's able to cover it up just before Welshman got a piece of it.
Sean Tosh does really well there again, just using his chest. Guides it back to the Louisville goalkeeper.
There's Davis. Want to guess the last time FC Cincinnati didn't score in a match? April 7th here at Nippert Stadium against Louisville City.
Yeah.
That's the only time this season that Louisville City's been kept off the score sheet. Or that FC Cincinnati's been kept off the score sheet is by Louisville City. Lou City trying to match that feat.
Well, again, you've got to give credit to Louisville for the performance as well, Tommy. I think both sides of the ball, they've been good. A little fortunate, I think, with certainly the second goal.
You're talking about, oh yeah, no doubt. The second goal unlucky, and the first goal, the wall didn't provide the protection for Evan Newton.
I think defensively, Louisville looked pretty solid. Not giving FC Cincinnati many chances at all.
Davis has to come off his foot. Jimenez is turned away by Evan Newton, came off his line. Louisville City has kept FC Cincinnati, the third most prolific scoring team in the USL, off the board through 84 minutes tonight. It's really stunning considering the way that the Orange and Blue have been able to score the past month plus.
I think you talk about the month and you look at a body of work, Tommy, absolutely. I think very impressive. Tonight's going to be a disappointing performance, but we've seen a lot of special goals in this last month as well.
Speedy Williams is going to go into the book with a yellow card. Called for the foul, knocking down Richie Ryan. Second yellow card on the season for Devin Williams, the midfielder out of Jamaica. The second half possession, 56% in favor of the Orange and Blue.
It's been a better second half. He maybe gets a little bit of a poke. Yeah. Going back to possession, though, it's been a better second half. But you talk about possession with a purpose, chances created. Still haven't seen a lot of that from FC Cincinnati in the second half.
Ryan will put it back into play. Jeremy Touchant signals that he is ready. Ryan on the free kick, sends it inside the 18. Kanon got the header. Barrett goes down, and the flag was up on the far side. You know, if you had told me before this match that FC Cincinnati would fall to Louisville City, that's certainly believable. If you told me they would do it without scoring a goal, wouldn't have been quite as believable.
No, I agree with you. I think, again, it's been a performance that I think everyone's disappointed with, more so the players than anyone else, and they know that. Again, but you talk about trends, right? You know, they've went on a strong streak. It's very hard for any professional team to put together so many wins. We're definitely going to have dips in the season. There's certainly a dip. An ambition to win the league, you've got to be able to beat these teams as well, Tommy. Absolutely. That's going to be a big thing that FC Cincinnati are going to have to look at seriously.
That run, or that loss on April 7th, sparked a good run for FC Cincinnati after falling to their rivals here at Nippert Stadium. And the fans will certainly hope that's the case again. Manu Ledesma trying to chase down a ball in the direction of Tosh. Comes back to Ranjitsingh, and he'll play it into the midfield. Boehner on the header to Ryan. I'm sorry. Now Boehner will throw it in. 88th minute. And barring a miracle here in 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time, it'll be the third loss of the year for the Orange and Blue. In front of their biggest home crowd of 2018, 26,495. Quick whistle on the far side. Boehner and Omby collided. I don't think either of them thought that it was a foul.
I think Omby might have caught Richie Ryan, actually. It's the play before that.
Hoyt working with Bone on the right. Hoyt looking far post. Got it to Lang. His shot of the volley didn't quite get enough of it.
Need to be very direct here. Like I said, not a lot of time left.
Ledesma to Hoyt.
Trying to chase one goal, try to give some hope.
Inside of the 18, Welshman was trying to find the header. Well defended by Lou City. Lang will come over to try to keep the pressure on. Lang beats Smith. And was looking far post, and Emery Welshman hesitated, not able to redirect it.
Ends up being a dangerous ball across the front of the goalkeeper. The FC Cincinnati player was reading it. Failed to make that run to the back post.
And Jitsing will take the goal kick, but probably not before we roll on to the 90th minute. So FC Cincinnati will play next Saturday at New York Red Bulls 2, who are having a nice campaign so far. That's a 1 o'clock start in New Jersey. So Kevin and I will have the call for you of that one, but they will be without Captain Declan Kanan, who picked up his 5th yellow card of the season in the 82nd minute. And they will be without assistant coach Johan Dame, who was sent off in the 57th minute. 4 minutes of stoppage time coming after the foul in the midfield. Lance Lang was taken down. With Kanan earning the suspension. We talked about the rotation. Probably see Paddy Barrett, Forrest Lasso back there, and those two have played well together.
Yeah.
At center back. And certainly will be a lot of reflection this week for the orange and blue, looking to clean things up and getting ready for a tough match on the road.
Sure, and like I said, you can't get too caught up in it either, Tommy. I mean, Louisville are a good team. Disappointing performance, yes. End of the season, no.
No, not by any means. No panic. No panic button on USL match number 11.
No, they're a third of the way through the season. A lot can still happen. But reflection, yeah, definitely. I think they've got to look at, how can they get the better of a team like Louisville? They'll play against a tough opponent, New York Red Bulls, the next game away from home. Those are teams that historically have done very well in this league. I think FC Cincinnati have the experience. It's just tweaking some things and being able to execute.
2 in a row away from home coming up for Louisville City. Or, I'm sorry, for FC Cincinnati. Louisville City does not play in league play again until Saturday, June 9th at Bethlehem.
They did really well, just tracking Luke Spencer as well.
I'll give Louisville City credit too. Playing Wednesday night, starting 5 guys who started that match. FC Cincinnati started 1. Matt Boehner, who started on Wednesday, and I openly wondered if they would show some heavy legs. They have not.
A very fit team. If you look kind of the profile of the team as well, O'Connor has his team very fit. They work hard for each other. It's that team first mentality. You said bouncing back, not bouncing back, but I guess continuing from Wednesday's win against St. Louis for them. Come in and put up together a very strong performance in Nippert Stadium tonight.
We are in stoppage time with visiting Louisville City FC on top 2-0. On the verge of winning at Nippert for the 2nd time this season.
Right, the stinging thing for this as well, Tommy, really is Louisville have a game in hand as well, They
had a game postponed earlier this year due to weather. Otherwise, they would be even with 10 league matches played coming into this one. Ledesma from the near corner. In stoppage time. Services have been short all night.
It's lack quality, really. That's, I think, in general, just in the attack. Certainly from set pieces as well. We've seen it. Ledesma had one good chance, I think, off the post.
Yep. Cameron Lancaster's goal in the 15th minute right now stands to be the game winner for the 2nd time this year against the Orange and Blue. Omby, some space up the middle, an opportunity to kill some clock. Just over halfway through stoppage time. Mentioned 2 in a row coming up on the road for FC Cincinnati in league play, where they are 4-1-1 away from Nippert in the USL. at New York Red Bulls 2 and at North Carolina FC. And of course, those two matches will be split by a visit from Major League Soccer, Minnesota United, here on June 6th. Tickets on sale to the public Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Log on to FCCincinnati.com to reserve your tickets. If you're a season ticket holder and haven't reserved your seats yet, make sure you do it before that public on sale on Wednesday.
Definitely a game you're not going to want to miss.
It'll be another great Open Cup atmosphere here in Nippert for sure. Well, certainly disappointment tonight in the result for FC Cincinnati, but for the sport in this city, there will be a celebration on a very large stage at Rheingeist come Tuesday.
Exciting time, certainly for the city, for this club, and for the fans. You know, they've been waiting patiently over the last few months.
3 years ago, this club didn't exist.
I don't know how many times you've got your haircut in the last few months.
Yeah, a few times. I'm ready for Tuesday, mate.
It's definitely going to be an exciting time.
Smith into the middle. Davis out of the foot of Jimenez. Kanon came over to break it up, and Hoyt will clear it. Barrett into the midfield. Now just awaiting the full-time whistle. And there it is, the full-time whistle from Remy Touchon, and Louisville City victorious for the second time this season. Quick handshakes at midfield between the coaching staffs. And as we said, a disappointing result for the orange and blue. Ends in a final score of 2-0 in favor of Louisville City. Tonight's moment of the match is presented by Toyota. Let's go places, and it was Manu Ledesma, the best look of the night. Came on the set piece, and he found the woodwork.
Yeah, good chance again. We talked about his quality. He didn't show up much tonight, but this effort bends it around the wall, hits off the post. And really, that's the only good positive opportunity I think FC Cincinnati really created in this tough game against Louisville tonight.
Frustrating evening for Manu Ledesma and the home lads. FC Cincinnati falls for the third time in 2018, and a small contingent of Lou City supporters celebrate on the far side. We'll step aside, take a break, come back here from Alan Koch, as well as show you limited highlights from tonight's match. Once again, your final score, Lou City wins 2-0. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Tom Glenner and Kel McCloskey back with you at Nippert Stadium, where the home side falls to their rivals in this derby matchup, 2-0 in favor of Louisville City. Lindsey Patterson's the third member of our broadcast team. She's on the pitch with Alan Koch.
Coach, you knew going into this match it was going to be a battle. It felt like your guys couldn't create opportunities tonight. How do you reflect on a match like tonight?
Well, quite frankly, we didn't play very well, and there's no excuse for that. We obviously know we've got a big target on our back. We were top of the league. It was a huge game, obviously a derby, and a game really to to see if we can push ourselves further along. So in terms of tonight, it was a very, very disappointing performance, and quite frankly, we didn't deserve the result. If we do reflect, though, it's 11 games, obviously, and we're right at the top of the league. We're fighting for everything, and I think tonight humbles us a little bit. It's been a long streak in terms of games to start the season, and we've played well for the most part. But we're definitely capable of more, and tonight was very, very disappointing. We'll put it behind us, we'll reflect on it, and we'll make sure the next time we play them we're ready for it, because Louisville are a very, very good team. They're organized. They've been together a lot longer than we have from a group perspective, and it showed. It showed the first time we played them, and it showed tonight too. I think thankfully we have a bit of time between now and the next time we play them, and we'll work very, very hard to make sure we put in a much better performance than we did tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lindsay, and we certainly appreciate the time from Alan Couch tonight. That next meeting that he mentioned, September 8th at Slugger Field at 7:30, so it'll be a while until these two teams meet again. It's time for your Toyota post-match highlights, and it was Lou City, the second time here at Nippert Stadium, and Cameron Lancaster finding the game-winning goal.
Yeah, Lancaster just finds the hole in the wall, really bends it into the bottom corner. You can see Evan Newton's reaction, not a happy camper at all. This is very unlucky from Evan Newton. Deflection, I think it comes out off of Matt Boehner's back leg. Newton can't do anything really about it. Tries to get up and recover. Ends up being the second goal and really the killer goal.
So it was 2-0. Manuel Ledesma nearly put FC Cincinnati back in the match. Saw it as our moment of the match as well. Finding the post.
The best chance really that FC Cincinnati had in the game, off the post. This is the second chance here. Jimenez strikes a good ball. Newton reacts. Same again, this second follow-up save does enough to hold on to it. Does well again in this third chance that Louisville had in that second half. And overall, really just the difference, I think, with those two goals. I don't think we saw FC Cincinnati's A game tonight, Tommy, for sure. Alan talked about it just at the end. It's been a long streak as well. Good performances coming through. A little bit of a dip. It's 1/3 of the season gone. Can't hang their heads too long. Just continue to take that information, prepare, and obviously get ready for that next game.
Well, 6-3-2 through a third of the year. Nothing to shake your head at. And as Alan said, you hit on it before the end of the match. By no means should anybody be reaching for the panic button right now. These are the defending champs, who are a very good team and came in and got the result they wanted on the road tonight.
Very good team. You know, I think if anything, there's more information coming from that. You know, the games towards, you know, we talked about the first third of the season. I think the last third of the season are going to be the difference. And having that information and being ready for those big games, I think that's going to be hopefully the difference in FC Cincinnati winning the league, because that's the ambition, Tommy. You know, they've got to figure out how to play against the Louisville. They're a very organized team. Alan talked about it. They are a team that's been together for a long time. It does make a difference. It's not an excuse, but we've got to start using that information and put it to use.